Fuck yeah, motherfuckers. Fucking Bondbreakr right there, dude. Let's call these motherfuckers up right the fuck now and see what the fuck is going on in their world, man.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Bondbreakr.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, man, you guys are live right now on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation fucking radio. How you doing?
We're doing great. How are you doing, Zach?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. So tell us what's going on in the world of Bondbreakr.
Well, it's an interesting time for us. You know, this EP that we're going to be releasing next month. We tracked the whole thing really right before everything got crazy for lockdown. You know, before all gigs and rehearsals got canceled. And so we had, you know, the entire spring and summer, we had a bunch of gigs lined up. And like every other band on the planet, all of that got canceled. So we ended up with, you know, a lot more time on our hands. And so we've been using it, really focusing on the first full-length album. We have pretty much all of it written by now. And so it's really just kind of honing and refining and getting the direction in place. But yeah, it's been, again, like so many other musicians, it's just been us and our laptops, you know, rather than an actual drum set and amps, which is, it's a bit of a bummer, but we're making it work, you know.
Yeah, this is definitely a crazy fucking time to be alive, man.
It sure is. We're never going to forget this year.
No, for sure, man. I mean, like, you know, it's like fucking, I work at a factory during the day, and I work with some really old people there, man, that have been around for a long time, and they've seen all kinds of shit. And I talk to them sometimes, you know, and it's like, it's trippy because even compared to the things that people have seen over the last 50, 60 years, man, this is some serious fucking shit. Like, you know, nobody that I know of has ever had to fucking go to work every day wearing a fucking mask and sanitize every fucking 30 minutes and fucking, you know, be freaked out about, you know, what the, I mean, it's just, it's fucking crazy, man.
Well, hey, Zach, my name is G, and I'm the front woman / lead vocalist for Bondbreakr. And I just want to jump in real quick if I can, if that's cool. Is that cool?
It's awesome.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, I full on understand what you're saying about these people that, like, don't understand what the fuck's going on. Because you know what? I don't understand what's going on either. The thing about Bondbreakr is we make some really serious noise, and we've been making it for the past year and a half?
Yeah, about that.
This was before, like, all the bars had to close because of COVID and all that bullshit. And even before that, we were still talking about how various lives mattered and how different things mattered and how we wanted to go out and just rock out and be ourselves, right? So I'm really happy that we're here on your show talking about it moving forward. But at the end of the day, when we talk about putting masks on our face and we talk about moving forward with what we want to do, there is a core line. There is a line. There is a division. And we need to figure out what that means in terms of lives mattering. To me, lives mattering means you put on your mask, you wash your hands, and you move forward in everything that you do. If you have somebody telling you that that's not the truth, then you need to ask every single question. Every single question. Am I wrong? Am I being like too radical with asking questions about what does it mean when I am going out to the store? Everyone that does not look like me has a mask on, and they're moving forward with picking up groceries, picking up a paper, like a magazine. Like I need answers to my questions.
And I know what you're saying, Zach. How the old school dudes have no idea what's going on. We have no idea what's going on either. Just the day-to-day lives. We've all been impacted by this in some way or another. No one really knows what the future holds, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally, man. And, obviously the big fucking thing here in America is our fucking division between people, and the whole fucking political fucking thing about it too. Like, you can't fucking ignore it. I mean, these crazy fucking right-wing nuts are fucking going. I mean, the shit that they're fucking spewing is fucking insane, dude. And it's
unbelievable.
I mean, if it was, I mean, I don't know, if it was another time, different circumstances, you could maybe laugh it off and be like, yeah, they're just fucking crazy. But, this is causing some serious fucking shit, man. The numbers keep fucking going up. Fucking, it's not going away.
Wait a goddamn minute. Why are we being fucking polite right now? Why the fuck are we being polite? Okay? You're talking to Bondbreakr.
Hey, you don't have to be polite. Hey, on this show, say whatever you want to say.
Listen, Zach Moonshine, I'm not mad at you. I'm just letting you know. Why the fuck do we have to be polite anymore? Seriously. I am a black woman in American society. I identify as an American black woman. Okay? I happen to sing songs of my people. My people happen to be African people. My African people happen to share bloodlines with the Irish and with the Somalians and with Mexicans and all different types of people across the diaspora of humanity. Why the hell should I be quiet about how the fuck I feel? I'll tell you right goddamn now. I was born from people that woke up in the middle of Galveston trying to understand in the middle of Galveston, Texas, what that means for them. That meant that they were born from Jean Lafitte. That meant that they were born from these fucking radical people. And I have to now navigate my entire world based on heritage. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now.
I tell you what, Zach, it's a good time to be in a hardcore punk band. That's all I will say about that. It's just with the way things have transpired, with the fact that there was the lockdown, right? And then we all had way more time on our laptops and phones, and then everything that happened with George Floyd was like the timing of that,
The murder of George
Oh my God,
Floyd.
yeah.
And just
murder,
the anger and
full-on murder.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable the rhetoric that we're hearing by people in power in the highest office. The shit they're getting away with. It just blows your fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and people fucking allow it, man. People still fucking look up to all these fucking billionaires like they're fucking idols and shit, and like that's, and they keep fucking voting these people in. They keep fucking doing this shit, and I don't fucking know, man. I don't know what the answer is, but I know it's fucked up.
The answer is you not listening to these motherfuckers that tell you what the fuck you should listen to.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
Exactly. Breaking the mold.
Yeah. And speaking of the George Floyd thing, man, like that was a fucking... I mean, if 2020 wasn't fucking bad enough as it is, and I know that kind of shit has been happening for fucking years and years and years, but... Yeah, I think, well, obviously now because people are videotaping, it's being seen more. But at the same time, I don't know. I can't help but feel and think like it is happening more often than it used to. happen. I don't know. Maybe that's just me not realizing what's really going on out there, or I don't know, but it's just something in the air, man. It just doesn't seem fucking right.
Zach Moonshine, by you saying that means that you can acknowledge that you have a lot of questions, and so do a lot of Americans and other people that live outside of America. They have the same questions, and all I can say from my very black perspective is the way that I feel walking around Black America is as if everybody knows that is the truth and they don't want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What does that feel like on your skin? Because I would imagine that it feels very heavy.
Yeah. You know, when it reaches the point where, you know, you're catching up with an old friend and they say, hey, did you hear about the unarmed black civilian who was killed by a cop? And what's our response? Oh, which one? Or am I up to date on that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you can't even keep them straight. And I think it's an interesting question you raise. Like, you know, is it happening more now, or do we have a more alert and vigilant public armed with phones and, you know, actually willing to bring these things to the public? You know, I don't care for Facebook. You know, I'm sure a lot of people don't. Anyone under, you know, the age of 65. But what's interesting about the George Floyd case is we only know about that because of a teenager, a 17-year-old girl who was streaming that event on Facebook. I mean, you know,
hero.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
She's a hero, man. She's a hero for doing that.
Yeah, she's a
Absolutely.
heroine.
You know, because she started that period of reckoning, you know, and sadly, it kind of feels like that. You know, the air is starting to leave the room already in terms of that moment of reckoning.
Well, what's so funny about you saying that? I'm so sorry, Zach, if we're getting into a different conversation, but like, what's so different about what you're saying about the young lady that was able to film the footage of Mr. George Floyd's demise, basically, is that when you think about Sandra Bland, who was on her way to fulfill the space of a job interview, she had made it all the way through to a second or third round of an interview. And she was driving in her car. She happened to be in Texas, and she was doing her due diligence as a regular tax-paying citizen. And she was going into a job interview to say, hey, like, I'm totally qualified for this, and I'm ready, and I'm able to bring your organization up to the forefront of whatever the fuck it is that you want me to bring y'all up to the forefront for. And she was blatantly murdered. And so at this point in our history and with our music, because we are very much into the rock and roll, into the metal, into the punk, we're into this shit. Yeah. And we have different lines of thought when it comes to someone that is trying to live their normal life. When it fits into the kaleidoscope of what we think should be right, when it falls outside of it, which is what I feel like Miss Sandra Bland fell outside of, all she was trying to do was get to the next portion of her job interview. That's what we all understand. It's like, yeah. I'm trying to make it through this next phase. I'm trying to get there and make sure that I can have funds coming in from my basic need. And she was literally extinguished. If murder is uncomfortable, she was extinguished for doing what she wanted and needed to do to move forward. Now, when it comes to Bondbreakr and everything that we want to do, I will absolutely 100% uphold every value that she wanted to uphold. I will also uphold the values of young people and young men that want to uphold metal and punk, because I understand those warring factions. I feel like those factions are divided in very different ways, but I feel like they're very, very similar, and I hope that politics don't divide them on the whole. Yeah. So when it comes to Sandra Bland and Black Lives Matter and other sorts of people, I really feel like we can come to a conclusion on how we should navigate, how we should move forward.
We're all just trying to live our lives, and we're trying to tell these stories.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think, I totally understand. A lot of people are fucking freaked out about the police, nowadays, because of everything that we see going on online, and even I fucking freak out, I'm half Puerto Rican, but I fucking pretty much took on most of my mother's Irish fucking shit, so I look very much white, and I got long hair, but when I get pulled over, I fucking still freak out, And the last time I got pulled over was because I was swerving, because I was tired when I was coming home from work, and they fucking pulled me over, and I'm sitting there talking to one cop on the one window, and I look over, and I see the other one, he's holding his fucking gun, man, and they're asking me if I got weapons in the car and shit like that. I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you having us on, but also playing Cop Rock before the interview. Really appreciate that, because that's very much with that song. That was Geraldine kind of encapsulating the black experience, but really in terms of that fear that you mentioned, because within that song you have these two sections that are very different. You have a very upbeat, kind of more melodic section where the narrator is feeling very great about what's going on, about the day that they're having, and then the kind of black metal part that comes after that is, it's madness, it's thrashing. That's the policeman saying, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" So it's just and the song has very quick transitions, because at a moment's notice, like you're saying, you get pulled over, you don't know what that cop is thinking, you don't know what kind of day they've had, you don't know what they're going to try to do to you.
Yeah,
you're powerless,
because it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Yeah, like I fucking have my insurance card, my registration, everything is up underneath my visor, so that because I'm so paranoid, whenever I get pulled over, all I got to do is reach up there and pull it down and put my hands out to where they can see my hands, because I'm fucking, I'm like, fuck, man, I got kids, dude, don't fucking shoot me.
Well, I know. You just don't know. You don't know, like, if they're just going to decide that you're a criminal, because then, like, they already have that profile created of you, and then you're powerless. Again, what do you do?
Now, I think part of that is, we might be a little bit traumatized by the fact that we are seeing so much police violence and everything on video in real time. You're seeing it happen. So when you see that constantly in your feeds on social media, whatever you're looking at, and then you go out there, it's in your fucking head, man. You're thinking about it. And
yeah, absolutely. You can't escape it.
Fuck, man. Well, about the fucking music, man. Tell us, how did you guys get into, what made you decide that you wanted to fucking devastate the world with this fucking music?
Yeah, sure, man. So the story, it all starts with a punk band called Sugar Pill, and this is Geraldine, the vocalist, and the drummer Patrick were in. So they formed, I want to say about 2017, summer of 2017. Really, really killer punk band, kind of a little more straightforward punk, like kind of Bad Religion, Pennywise type stuff. Great band. Mm-hmm. And at that time, Geraldine and I had started dating, and so naturally I was spending a lot of time with her, and I was spending a lot of time at Sugar Pill gigs, and I was having such a great time because I thought the band was fantastic. And so fast forward about a year and a half or so, the guitarist for Sugar Pill injured his shoulder. And since I knew all the songs, they asked me to fill in for a gig. And that was fantastic for me because I loved, Patrick as a drummer. I loved Geraldine's vocals. I loved Sugar Pill songs. And I really had wanted to play with them. It was just as a guitar player for me with like I'm mostly like a death metal guy. So to step into a punk environment was just so fun for me, of just kind of let loose and make noise and be obnoxious. And so I did a couple gigs with Sugar Pill, and then Sugar Pill imploded. Just some things went down. It didn't work out. And so Patrick and Geraldine, they still wanted to play music. And, the bass player and the guitarist of Sugar Pill had departed. And so since I was already jamming with them, it was really the three of us were thinking, we have great chemistry. What do we do? How do we make this work? And then we started writing. We took some of the songs that Sugar Pill had been playing that Geraldine and Patrick created, and we made them a little bit more metal, a little nastier, a little more dirt under the fingernails to give it that Bondbreakr flavor. And then we hooked up with Pete, a bass player whom I have known for about 20 years off and on, just through our bands would, share stages throughout the years. He's got, a very diverse background. He's played in folk bands, like noise rock bands, kind of crazy technical Dillinger type bands. But he's always had a love of hardcore punk. And so I told him I've got a very promising hardcore punk project. He instantly signed on. And then it was just, as soon as we jammed with him the first time, it was just, man, full steam ahead. Like, we were rehearsing so much, gigging so much. And then, we decided, let's record this EP. And then we tracked it. And then the whole world stopped. and then music stopped. And so here we are now.
Well, the music didn't stop, though. I mean,
No, it's a good point. Stop. Good point. Yeah.
I know. The world did fucking. I mean, yeah. This is crazy fucking shit, and I can't I can't even begin to wonder what it must be like, especially for so many bands that make their living by playing shows and can't get out there and do it right now. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's so tough economically. Yeah, these bands especially the bands that are just barely able to make it work, through touring constantly, all of that has dried up, and we all know there's no money in streaming. So yeah, it's a tough time, for sure.
Well, I definitely dig the fucking flavor of what you guys are doing. And speaking of flavors, I could hear you pouring drinks in the background, man. What's your favorite drink to drink?
Oh man, well tonight it's Jack Daniel's, and we got some wine. But yeah, we're pretty straightforward, just whiskey and wine, depending on the mood. Our drummer Patrick, he chugs beers like nobody's business. Mm-hmm. and Pete, bass player, is just coffee 24/7, pretty much.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, I got some questions coming in from the chat room. Let me see here. Lady Red wants to know, what's one of the craziest things you've ever seen or that's ever happened while you were on the road?
Oh man, so shit. There was so we played a venue. It was like at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
This place was Riley's on the Riley's Tavern. I don't remember, but it's
Tavern.
So it's out in the country, like it's about 20-30 minutes outside of Austin.
No, it's Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah, so it's about 20 minutes outside of Austin, and you're in the middle of the Texas wilderness, man. Like, there's nothing. There are more like donkeys than people. And so we're like, where the fuck are we? And then so we pull in and we get to like this barn that has like all these glowing red lights inside it, and we step inside and they're playing death metal, and there is like demonic posters and shit everywhere.
So basically, young lady, the drinks were trash. So don't go there and don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, but to be fair, it was a great show.
It was fun.
Yeah,
but don't do it.
Just being out there in the middle of nowhere, with not knowing what was going on and basically just drinking like our lives depended on it, to try to rescue the night, so to speak. Okay. Yeah, so I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's not too crazy. We don't have a lot of road experience as a band yet, but hopefully we'll rack it up.
Oh, we so do.
And we'll
we so do in ways that people want versus what they understand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so more to come the next time we talk to you. Okay. Assuming that bands are able to tour.
I'm so sorry, Ragnarok. What is it? Ragnarok. Feelings. I'm sorry. Kieran is like the nice version of me. I'm an asshole.
No, you're not.
No, I am. It's fine.
So, yeah, we'll have better stories next time we get that question.
All right, man. Another question. What's some of your top musical influences?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, for me, like I mentioned, I'm mostly a death metal guy. Like, I've been playing in, like, funeral doom and melodic death metal bands for, 15, 20 years. So I think for me, all the classic Swedish bands, I'm all about Dissection, Dark Tranquillity, Edge of Sanity. Back to stuff like Thin Lizzy, favorite band of mine. I noticed you mentioned you're Irish. I'm Irish as well. And for Gerald's all about Battery and Dark Throne. Mm-hmm. And Patrick's kind of like all over the place. He likes really sludgy shit. He loves grindcore, and so yeah, pretty much all over the map, But I would say those are the artists that impacted me the most.
Oh yeah. Another question. JMCT wants to know, what's the best venue you played at?
What's the what?
What's the best venue that you've played at so far?
Oh, I gotta give a shout out to, there's a venue in Austin called Kick Butt Coffee, and it's a brilliant place. So as the name would imply, it's a coffee shop by day, and it's a great coffee shop with really good coffee and
Kick Butt Coffee.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and plenty of place to study and read, but by night it becomes this raging fucking gnarly punk venue, man. People always turn out, people get crazy, there are beer cans everywhere, and it's a small space, but it sounds fantastic. So you got to give a shout out to the Kick Butt crew if they're listening, to Danimal and Ernie and Alyssa. Yeah, there's a fantastic crew of people. They support punk and metal. They're kind of having a hard time right now, like all venues are. But I would say that is definitely the best, just because of all those things that I mentioned. And it's away from the chaos of downtown. You can easily park and just go in and you have a great time.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, man, coffee shops fucking rule, dude. There was one that I used to go to all the time when I lived in Arizona called, I think it was called the Willow House. And we used to go down there, and like you said, it was coffee shop by the day, but at night they had live shows, and a lot of times they would just let people fucking like sign up on a thing, and if you brought a guitar or whatever, you could just fucking get up there and jam. And I used to do it. Cool. My friends used to do it. Like, we used to just fucking go down there and hang out and get drunk and fucking jam out, man. It was a great time.
That is so cool when you have that really kind of open and creative atmosphere.
Yeah.
Kind of anything goes. Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. Another question. Let me see here. Lady Red wants to know, what do you prefer better, bubble baths or showers?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, for showers, you get the convenience factor, like obviously in and out, so it's better for just the kind of day-to-day routines. But I think if I'm really ready to unwind, like if I'm able to stay in a nice hotel I think a bath is better because you can run it and you get your wine or your herbal tea depending on the type of night it is. You get a book and you just take it easy. So I would say, for convenience sake, showers are better, but definitely the bubble bath for if you got more time and you're really just kind of willing to unwind at night.
Hell yeah. Another question from the listeners: what's the craziest crowd you've ever seen?
Craziest crowd. So I would say that probably would go back to Kick Butt Coffee again, just because it's a small venue and it's just a really, really rowdy space. And, because it's small, but there's also plenty of room, for people to hang out and drink their beer if they don't want to be a part of the mayhem. But the crowds are always kind of very excited and are jumping around and jumping into each other, and the energy is just so rad. And I got to give a shout out to my homies in Circle Pit, awesome hardcore crossover band, also here in Austin that we've played with, and every time that they play Kick Butt, it's just as their name implies, man. The place goes wild, and it's so great. It's that, and it's a spirit of community. So if anyone's like being violent, then they'll be escorted out. But apart from that, like most of the time, people are rowdy in a way that's fun and conducive.
Fuck off!
And
They're
fun.
fucking violent as shit. Like what the fuck? What the fuck? Like
Exactly.
no. Do you want to fucking get rowdy? Do you want to get fucking wild? Do your fucking shit. Cheers.
Exactly.
Fuck
Cheers.
yeah.
Boom. Cheers.
Fuck yeah, man.
Ooh.
Speaking of fucking, well, since you guys are from Texas and you mentioned crossover, man, I gotta ask, were you guys fans of Power Trip?
Yeah,
fucking Power
definitely,
Trip.
man. Like that was, I'm still in shock about that. Like,
What the
Grab
fuck,
hard
man?
and Hold on
it-
fast.
yeah, because like it's the kind of thing where for a while, like gigs that I would play, I'd hear about Power Trip coming through, and like when they would come through, everyone knew about it and everyone was there because everyone had to see fucking Power Trip. And this was a couple years ago, and they just dominated, man, the international scene. Like they were on route to become the next fucking global heavyweights, man. It's there's a and between that, I don't know if you heard about Wade from Iron Age as well.
Yes.
Another crossover band. So man, it's been tough, and yeah, especially with Riley, so commanding, so powerful, and
Wait.
I still don't really know.
Hey
what happened.
Hey guy. Wait, no, you're trying to be real for a second. Let me push the fucking monitor back. You're trying to be real with Power Trip right now, right?
Yeah, dude.
How do you feel about Lane Staley? Talk to me right now. Talk to me right now.
I loved Lane Staley, man. I'm a huge fucking Alice in Chains fan. One of my favorite bands from the 90s.
You talk to me then.
Yeah.
Listen, I poured out my heart to that man. I fucking love that man. Listen, some say we were born into the grave. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Come on now. You can feel at your bottom dollar. Okay? You can feel at your bottom dollar. But it comes up to the surface of your chin. You're not gonna know what it feels like for your bones, dude. Gonna end up a big old pile of them bones? Come on now. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I feel so alone. Gonna end up a big old pile of them balls.
I like the cover you played earlier. That's some cool stuff, man.
He fucking called out to that. Fucking Lane does not give a shit. He called out to it. Like, he dug into his roots for a big old pile of them bones. Lane Staley called out for his heart with a big old pile of his bones. You can't fucking match that shit.
No. Lane's one of the immortals, and I think that
you cannot.
We can say the same thing about Riley. One of the immortals.
Pretty big shoes to fill for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm loud. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's okay. As far as Riley is concerned, though, I don't know what the cause of death was. Like, I didn't know if there was any fucking drug-related shit or anything like that. I don't even know. Like, fucking, it was a total shock to me when I seen it on my Facebook feed when I was at work, man, and I was on the shitter, and I was fucking got on the phone just to look there for a minute, and I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck? No way.
You're welcome for whenever fucking Kurt Cobain shot his fucking brains out with fucking that little bitch that he had, Courtney Love, and we all had to sit there and process that shit. That fucking baby boy in the fucking album cover, like, we fucking grew up with that shit, and then we had to process that. We had to process the meat of his fucking angry asshole shit. And, like, listen, I will never fucking punch fucking Kurt Cobain in his face, but I don't like him either. But the guys that I had to grow up with, siphoning their feelings against him, yeah, I have fucking problems. I have fucking problems with Nirvana playing drums against that little baby girl that fucking Dave Grohl plays fucking ninja fucking drum beats at. Like, I got problems with it. I got fucking problems with it. Like, I got problems with it. Like, I listened to you. I listened to you when Tupac was a fucking criminal. I listened to you when Ice Cube was a criminal. I listened to you when OJ was a fucking criminal. Sorry, love. Like, I am angry. Like, I lived it. I lived it. I lived Rodney King. I lived it, and I'm supposed to be nice about my shit. No, fuck off. Like, don't fucking do that to me. And I love you, and you know me, and I'm not gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, fucking moving forward, what's coming next for Bondbreakr?
Well, that's a good question. It's mainly just focusing on promotion for the EP. That's kind of the main thing for now. But as I mentioned, we have our full length written and ready to go. And so it really just trying to figure out a way to rehearse and learn those songs as a band. And it tough times trying to figure out how to safely and social distantly rehearse. So I think that's kind of the main thing is the promotion for the EP, and then focusing on really kind of getting all the songs down for the full length. Because we don't know what's going on with gigs, no one does, so we're just kind of taking that out of the equation for now.
Hell yeah. Well, hey man, fuck, you got to do what you got to do right now. That's for sure. All right. Well, I'm about out of questions for you guys. Is there anything else you want to let your fans know?
I think that covers it. Yeah, thanks a lot for this opportunity, man. I really appreciate it.
And Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives
Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Fucking A right, man. Well, before I let you guys go, can I get you to make us a station tag real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
This is Bondbreakr. You're listening to Metal Devastation Radio and Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
Hell yeah, motherfuckers, man. Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us, dude. Fucking, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Bondbreakr for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
All right. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it. Hope you have a great...
Cheers, Matt. Hello? There you have it, folks. Bondbreakr live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your fucking windows, put them in your front lawns, put them wherever the fuck you can. Make your neighbors fucking hate you, man. If you don't fucking see U-Haul trucks everywhere tomorrow, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, but you need to crank it the fuck up loud as a fuck. Here it is. This is Angry Tooth in honor of my angry tooth myself.